Hello again, and welcome back. I'm so happy you're joining me for part 3 of our series, Speak English Without Pausing. So far, we've learned that fluency isn't about speaking perfect English. It's about keeping the conversation moving. We've also talked about using simple words, speaking more slowly, and continuing even when we forget a word. Today, we're going to focus on something that changes the way you speak forever. We're going to learn how to think in English instead of translating everything in your head. If you've ever felt like your brain gets stuck between your native language and English, this episode is for you. Let's begin. Why do we translate? Imagine someone asks you a very simple question. What did you have for breakfast? It seems easy, right? But inside your mind, something like this might happen. First, you hear the English question. Then your brain translates it into your native language. Next, you think of your answer in your native language. After that, you translate your answer back into English. Finally, you speak. That process may only take a few seconds, but those seconds create long pauses. Now imagine doing this for every sentence in a conversation. It's tiring, it's slow, and it makes speaking feel much harder than it really is. Here's the good news. You don't have to translate forever. Your brain can learn to think directly in English. Just like learning to ride a bicycle or play a musical instrument, it takes practice. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Start with simple thoughts. Many learners make one common mistake. They try to think about difficult topics in English. For example, what do I think about climate change? Or, how can I explain my career goals? Those topics are difficult even in your first language. Instead, begin with very simple thoughts. When you wake up in the morning, think, I'm awake. I'm a little tired. It's sunny today. I need some water. I should make breakfast. Notice something. These are ordinary thoughts, but they happen every day. If you practice them in English every morning, your brain slowly begins to use English naturally. You don't need a classroom. You don't need a textbook. You only need your daily life. Describe what you see. Here's another powerful exercise. Look around your room. Choose one thing. Maybe it's a window. Now describe it. The window is open. The sky is blue. I can hear birds outside. There are trees across the street. Keep going. Don't stop after one sentence. Add another, then another. Now look at your desk. My desk is clean. My laptop is on the desk. I have a notebook beside it. My coffee cup is almost empty. Again, keep talking. The goal isn't to use difficult vocabulary. The goal is to keep your mind working in English. The more you describe your surroundings, the faster your brain learns to create English sentences without translating. Talk to yourself. Some people think talking to yourself is strange. Actually, it's one of the best ways to improve your English. You don't need another person. You don't need to worry about making mistakes. Or you can practice anytime. Imagine you're making lunch while you cook, say, I'm cutting some vegetables. Now I'm washing the tomatoes. I'm heating the pan. The food smells good. This looks delicious. You're practicing real English that people actually use. Now imagine you're cleaning your room. Say, I'm folding my clothes. I need to organize my desk. The floor is dirty. I should vacuum later. These are simple sentences, but simple sentences build strong speaking habits. Stop memorizing long vocabulary lists. Many learners spend hours memorizing hundreds of new words. After 1 week, they forget most of them. Why? Because they never use those words. Instead of learning 50 random words today, learn 5 useful words. Then use those 5 words in many different sentences. For example, learn the word decide. Now practice. I decided to study English. I can't decide what to eat. She decided to stay home. We decided to travel next month. Same word, different situations. Now your brain remembers it because you used it. Vocabulary grows through use, not memorization alone. Don't be afraid of silence. Here's something interesting. Even native English speakers pause sometimes. Have you noticed that? During conversations, people often say, "Let me think." That's interesting. Well, I've never thought about that before. These are natural pauses. They're not signs of weak English. They're part of normal communication. The difference is that fluent speakers stay calm. They don't panic. Imagine someone asks, "If you could travel anywhere in the world, where would you go?" That's not an easy question. Instead of freezing, you can say, that's a good question. I think I'd like to visit Japan because I've always been interested in the culture." That small phrase gives your brain time to think, and it sounds completely natural. Build speaking habits every day. Let's imagine two students. The first student studies English for 3 hours every Sunday. The second student practices speaking for 15 minutes every day. After 3 months, who do you think speaks more confidently? Usually it's the second student. Why? Because speaking is a skill. Skills improve through a regular practice. Think about learning to play the guitar. Playing once a week isn't enough. Playing every day, even for a short time, creates progress. English speaking works exactly the same way. Don't wait until you have an hour. If you have 10 minutes, practice for 10 minutes. If you have 5 minutes, practice for 5 minutes. Small practice done every day is more powerful than long practice once in a while. Tell simple stories. One of the best ways to improve fluency is by telling stories. They don't need to be exciting. They only need to be real. For example, yesterday I woke up at 7 o'clock. I made a cup of coffee. Then I studied English for 30 minutes. After that, I went to work. The day was busy, but I finished everything I needed to do. In the evening, I watched a movie before going to bed. That's a simple story. It uses easy vocabulary, but it helps you connect sentences naturally. Every day, tell yourself one short story. Maybe it's about your childhood, your favorite holiday, a funny experience, or what happened yesterday. The more stories you tell, the easier conversations become. Stop comparing yourself. Many learners lose confidence because they compare themselves with others. Maybe you watch someone on YouTube who speaks beautiful English. Maybe your friend seems more fluent than you. Remember something important. You're seeing their current level. You're not seeing the years of practice behind it. Every fluent speaker was once a beginner. Every confident speaker once made mistakes. Progress isn't a race. It's a personal journey. Instead of asking, "Wow, why is she better than me?" ask, "Am I better than I was last month?" That's the comparison that matters. Celebrate your own improvement. Even small progress is still progress. Make English part of your life. Don't think of English as something you only study. Think of it as something you live. Change your phone language to English. Write your shopping list in English. Watch English videos. Listen to English podcasts while walking. Read simple English articles. Think in English whenever you can. The more English becomes part of your daily life, the less your brain needs to translate. Eventually, English begins to feel natural, not because you forced yourself, but because you used it every day. A 3-minute confidence exercise before we finish today's episode. Let's practice together. Imagine I'm asking you these questions. Answer them aloud. Don't worry about mistakes. Question 1, what's your favorite food? Question 2, why do you like it? Question 3, who usually cooks it? Question 4, when was the last time you ate it? Question 5, would you recommend it to a visitor? Notice what happened. One question naturally leads to another. That's how real conversations work. People don't expect perfect answers. They simply want to hear your thoughts. The more you answer simple questions like these, the easier conversations become. Before we finish part 3 today, we learned that thinking in English is a habit, not a talent. It starts with simple thoughts, simple descriptions, simple stories, simple conversations. You don't need advanced vocabulary to become fluent. You need regular practice. Remember today's key ideas. Think in simple English every day. Describe your surroundings. Talk to yourself during daily activities. Learn fewer words, but use them often. Don't fear natural pauses. Tell simple stories. Stop comparing yourself with others. Make English part of your everyday life. These habits may seem small, but together they create real fluency. In part 4, we'll learn how to have longer conversations without running out of things to say. You'll discover how to answer questions naturally, keep a conversation going, and sound more confident in real-life situations. Until then, keep practicing, keep speaking, and remember this: fluency doesn't come from knowing more English. It comes from using the English you already know. I'll see you in part 4.